You hear just do it and you think, well, that's their promise, right? That's their hook. It's not actually their hook. That's a slogan. Just do it. It's an amazing slogan, but it's not the big idea. A slogan never drives your brand strategy. The brand strategy drives your slogan. So the slogan is just like part of the overall USP, might be even part of a, primary promise or big promise. But here, this is like their big idea here. Nike pushes your athletic boundaries beyond what you thought it was possible, so you can win on your own terms. And that's their overall USP, their big idea. What's the difference between a big idea and a hook or an ad hook? We get that question all the time. And in this video, what I do is I take you through and I show you the differences between a hook, a big idea, a unique mechanism, and why they are so important for the long-term success of any YouTube ad campaign or Facebook, Instagram ad campaign. All right, so enjoy the video. If you have any questions, make sure you comment, like the video if it helped you in any way. A great hook creates credibility, entices curiosity, and stimulates the need to know more. So any new campaign will need a hook or theme that you'll want people to recall, share, and act upon. A campaign's big idea is the overarching message that underpins all elements of a campaign in order to resonate with the target audience. So you can have lots of different hooks around the big idea. You can have several big promises that are all part of that same big idea. A true marketing idea is one that grabs your audience's attention so they tune into your marketing message. It has to be new, unique, compelling, and interesting to your market. And there can be an overlap with, between the hook and the big idea. So if you look at these opt-ins here, these are headlines based around the same big idea of the everlasting ad method. It's a new ad method. Okay, down here, look. Regular funnel versus everlasting ad. I talk about this in this video. If you have an everlasting ad, it can make a funnel irrelevant. You don't need a hardcore direct response marketing funnel. Or, the old way, direct response, the old way of social media, like in this one here, power words, actually failing. The old way isn't working anymore. You have to find a new way. So one good ad, 3 platforms is part of the big idea, right? But I can have an opening hook that might be talking to people that are content social media marketers. Get off the hamster wheel of creating massive content and not seeing any momentum. Instead, have one good ad that powers your entire funnel. So it's a new method. If I were to just, if it was just a video ad method that helps people scale their business, it really wouldn't be a big idea. The big idea is the everlasting ad. Run for 3 years at a time, because I'm using science of shareability and all these things, right? So here's another one. Chris Lindahl, I talked about this in Hacking the Hook, but guaranteed offer. That's his unique mechanism, but it's his USP. It's also his big idea. It's also his hook. Like they're all together in this one thing. It's like, hey, no more. But he also has another one where here he's like, it's kind of a funny video. No more open houses. So here, guaranteed offer. So guaranteed offer is the big idea, but it's also a hook. Get a guaranteed offer if you want to sell your house. And this next one, he has a different hook. It's just kind of a funny video, but you can see.
Thank you. We need real estate of the people, by the people, and for the people. I'll get you a guaranteed offer in 48 hours or less, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. Ask not what you can do for your agent. Ask your agent what they can do for you. The only thing we have to fear is decluttering and cleaning. Read my lips. No open houses.
So that's the hook there. No open houses. No more. People hate open houses. That's a frustration, right? It's a pain.
Today, I'm formally announcing my campaign of convenience. The American people deserve the opportunity to get a guaranteed offer on their home in 48 hours or less.
So that's his USP. It's his big idea. And everything is around that big idea of the guaranteed offer, but then they'll have different hooks. Presents one primary promise. Russell Brunson talks about this quite a bit, right? One promise. For us, it's the everlasting ad method. One good ad. And it's really challenging sometimes when we're making a webinar, okay? You have to have a great offer too. So how do I integrate this offer into my webinar without throwing off the whole presentation? Because that's what can absolutely happen when it's super specific, conveys one story. There's a lot of ones going on here. One story, one overarching theme, leads to one conclusion, taps one emotion. And this one here, I don't know. I mean, I think it can go over more than one emotion. It might be a little overkill on that, but still you're focusing on typically one emotion. Must be new and unique. It's the same thing as if you create a new green juice or a supplement. You're taking nutrients that have been around for thousands of years, but you're creating a new way to mix them together that helps people in a certain way. Everybody can do that. You can do that with the way that you stitch your clothes. There's a certain thing that you do that makes them last way longer, makes them waterproof, or makes people feel a certain way. So how can you make it new and unique to the industry? Or how can you ride a trend, an upcoming trend that you can kind of see happening right now? And so let's keep going. Must feel timely, new trend, arresting, compelling. It grabs you, immediately understandable, simple. Another great book, for hooks is Made to Stick. I talked about this before by Chip and Dan Heath. This will help you come up with a really big idea as well. And he'll talk a lot about these things here. The rule of one. The whole thing, I mean, this whole list is sort of based on the rule of one, right? And if you look at the... Hey, Keith here, quick interruption. If you like this video, if it's helpful, if you're having any aha moments, we appreciate it if you just let us know. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it. Share it, comment, ask us any questions you have. It really does help us as well. And it sends a signal to the algorithm that this video is valuable. So if you do that, we appreciate it, and as I hope you appreciate the content that you're learning right now. All right, so let's get back to the video. The list here, I just want to go through, the first couple here because they're really the most important. At the root of every big idea is a bold, audacious, true, believable promise of transformation. So it's one promise. It's audacious. It's true. It's believable. You have proof. Okay, you've got proof, but maybe it's not case studies and testimonials. Maybe it's statistics and industry proof of somebody else doing something using this methodology. Absolutely, you can do this. And this is where research can come in. And you can hire somebody. You know what? Jamie, he gave us a great resource week too, and I have it up still here, and it's called Wonder. I've heard of it before, but I hadn't used it yet. And it's a service you can get awesome research based on your specific industry. And you can hire somebody, like a grad student, to go out and find something to support your idea. And you can now use a statistic that grabs people's attention and has that aha moment. So specific, I'll go a little bit on specific. To have a big marketing idea, your primary promise must be concrete and specific. Concrete is one of the elements that they talk about in Made to Stick. It's one of the chapters here. That's why I mentioned that. It must be tangible, specific enough for your prospects to envision in their mind's eye. Vague generalities do not sell, specifics do. Vague promises are not believable. They're not compelling. They're not exciting. Specific promises and outcomes are. So whatever you're promising, you've got to be specific. And then the one story, right? Scientific breakthrough. Basically, maybe it's a case study story. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much deeper into all those right now. Let's go back to here. I want to give you an example of a brand because some people do have those types of brand in e-commerce and stuff. And here is a little bit like the difference between a big idea or big promise versus a hook with a big brand like Nike. So with Nike, you hear just do it and you think, well, that's their promise, right? That's their hook. It's not actually their hook. That's a slogan. Just do it. It's an amazing slogan, but it's not the big idea. A slogan never drives your brand strategy. The brand strategy drives your slogan. So the slogan is just like part of the overall USP, might be even part of a, primary promise or big promise. But here, this is like their big idea here. Nike pushes your athletic boundaries beyond what you thought it was possible, so you can win on your own terms. And that's their overall USP, their big idea. So they can do campaigns around that now, right? And all their amazing campaigns that they've done in their ads, highlighting great athletes, honoring great athletes. They're all back to this big idea, pushing your athletic boundaries beyond what you thought was possible so you can win on your own terms. And this was stemmed out of that big idea. That makes sense?